Okay, guys, so I was thinking about this situation where that Q80 F-18 shot down 3 Strike Eagles, and from just watching that Mover and Gonki show, a couple of the details that I don't know if they knew for 100% or they speculated about it. So if we have a Hornet, so here's my Tiger Meat Canadian Hornet. So they were saying that the Kuwaiti doesn't have the AIM-9X Sidewinder. They only have the older ones. They have like AIM-9 Mikes or Limas. So these Sidewinders are still very good. Um, they can fire in all aspect, and they have good flare rejection. And I think the only thing that's different about them is they're not as maneuverable as the AIM-9X, and then they're also um, they have smoke coming out of the engine. So in that video you saw, or the rocket motor. So in that video you actually saw like the smoke trails. And yeah, the way a Sidewinder works is the seeker head is detecting the infrared signature of the engine, of the enemy engine, aircraft engine, and then once the Sidewinder gets close, these sensors on the side detect once it's close enough to the plane, and then there's a small warhead, like this yellow section. There's a warhead there that's like a bunch of expanding rods that just explode in all directions, and so they damage the aircraft. But it doesn't have a big explosion. It's more just to damage. It's not to like blow it up. But it's enough to obviously shoot down any aircraft. So yeah, the Q81s have the older like 90s, 80s versions of Sidewinders, and then the other thing that they mentioned was they don't have the joint helmet cueing system. They just have like a HUD. So meaning that um, these guys will have to be like pretty close behind the aircraft to shoot at them. Like they can't fire like high off bore sight. And I can show you a little bit of what it looks like anyways from the cockpit. And then the only other last thing is they were talking about the IFF system. So like whether your IFF is on or off, or like for sure these Hornets have the IFF system. So like any allied aircraft, it should show on your radar display that it's a friendly. So if he's not using the radar to lock the Strike Eagle, he's possibly just using the seeker of the Sidewinder to cue the weapon and lock onto him, and there's like a circle in the HUD, but it wouldn't show IFF data. So that could possibly be what happened, but it's pretty crazy that he shot 3 quick succession. Like, um, I don't know. So also, so like this is a Strike Eagle. Um, it's very big, like a big dark gray jet with a twin tail and 2 engines. It's like a humongous jet, and so there's some speculation also that, oh, maybe he thought they were MiG-29s. So I put MiG-29s in the mission as well. So like, I don't know. From an untrained eye, maybe it does look a little like if you were right saddled up behind this guy from a couple miles distance, you may think that you're behind an MiG-29 or like, and you're really looking at an Eagle. Obviously, the plane is a little smaller, but like, yeah, man, from distance, you got twin tails and twin engines. Like, what are you thinking? It's a MiG-29. Um, and MiG-29s have a very smoky engines. So like, if you're really saddled up behind this guy, I don't know. I guess you could see how you may think that you're behind a Iranian MiG-29 as opposed to Strike Eagles. But I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so let's just take a look at what it looks like in like game. Okay, so we start the mission. So there's our trusty Hornet. Loading, loading. Okay, we're loaded in, so press fly. Okay, so we are cruising along in our Kuwaiti Hornet. So we can go master arm on, and so there's our Sidewinder Seeker head. Hold on a second, because my volume is not detecting. Let me just change the input really quickly. See if this works. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, if you're cruising along, so here I have my helmet on, right? So he can point the Sidewinder, that circle is the Sidewinder Seeker. So those strike eagles right there. Well, I can point my Sidewinder Seeker like pretty far off. And like how quickly you could do it. So there, I have a good tone of a Sidewinder. So like, oh look, it's a MiG-29. I've weapon release button. Or pull the trigger. So there, like, boom, now you've just shot down a friendly, right? It can happen very quickly. If he's using his radar to lock them, so there's more up ahead. So I can lock, see it says in LAR. Put the IFS system on. See it says friend, right? So why they did not have IFFs on, you don't know. If I turn it back off, I'd have to cycle the radar. So see, now it's not showing friend. So like, it could be possible that he had his IFF off. So in LAR just means you're in launch acceptable region, but it's not saying friend or foe. If he completely had the radar off, so if we turn our radar right off, and he's only going off the Sidewinder Seeker, you have no information on what that is. So you can just get behind him and be like, oh shit, it's a MiG-29. Pull the trigger, and you've killed somebody, right? So that could be the situation that happened. And then just to demonstrate to you guys, I have some MiG-29s out here, so like let's go look at them and just see what it looks like as a example. And I can turn my helmet off as well to show exactly what that Kuwaiti guy was seeing, because he doesn't have a helmet queuing system. So let's go over here and find those MiGs. Just gotta find them wherever they are. Okay, they should be like coming up right in front of me. Ah, there they are. Yeah, there they are. Okay, so see, getting behind him. He looks a lot similar, right? It's just that he has a smokier engine. That missed because I was so close. So like, I don't know, now you're looking as a fighter pilot, you're like, that is a freaking MiG-29, I have to kill him. But I don't know, maybe an untrained person might think that those Strike Eagles were MiG-29s. There, that should kill him. So, I don't know, maybe he thought he was shooting down MiGs. It's just hard to think about like what was really happening. And you don't even need a really good tone, as long as you get the Seeker on him, it should go. So like that was even without tone. Like you just fire it and the Sidewinder is finding the contrast on its own. So anyways, that's how it looks. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. But yeah, this tiger meat skin is pretty sick. Alright.